Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And the rest of you get a chance to go over that street policy.
Not in depth, but I've looked at it a few times.
All right, welcome to special meeting for December 29th, 2022. Roll call.
Josh Jones.
Here.
Tim Van Hookie.
Here.
Matthew Wells.
Here.
Edwin Woolhoff.
Here.
Katie Harrington.
First agenda is consideration approval to purchase road machinery.
Okay, I gave you a packet with, let's see, 5 pieces of equipment that we've researched and looked at. A couple of them the guys have went and looked at personally. I will defer to them to discuss and answer questions that you may have. But I did put letters on each of the machines so you'll know what they're talking about, A, B, C, D, and E. The one that we would like to consider is E. It's the 2016 Caterpillar 963K track loader. And I'll let Jerry or Tom answer any questions that you guys may have.
I know you guys' last meeting you had discussed, hour differences, and yeah.
That way everybody can see your pretty face.
Okay. The hour differences, I know you guys was discussing last meeting, and the machine quality and what's been done to the machine varies very substantial. The big ticket item, these machines are your undercarriage and what kind of shape they're in and stuff, which is a big reason why we're going with the K instead of C. Yes. The reason we're going with the K is it's got same as brand new undercarriage under it. They just did it. It's got less than 700 hours on the brand new undercarriage. They put a lot of brand new pins in the front of it. They redid it all. This is actually on Foley's rental fleet. So it's been maintained by Foley Cat since it was brand new on the rental fleet. So we have all the information when oil changes was. It's been a very well taken care of piece of equipment. So we do have all that information on it. Although the 2002 on the C, I'm not going to say it's a bad piece of equipment, but the undercarriage is around 30%. It says it's higher on this piece of paper. Tom and I both went up there and looked at it, and we was actually more towards the 25% range rather than the 30, but was going to give it the benefit of the doubt.
So when you say it's at 30%, define for me what that means.
About 1,200 hours left on it.
That's what the
undercarriage. Have to have a new undercarriage replacement.
Yeah. Then you're going to spend, that alone, if it ain't extensive wear, it'll cost you upwards of 30 grand for an undercarriage.
As far as the engine and the transmission go on it, I'm just noting the E has got, looks like 8,825 hours on it, where the C you were looking at had 6,512. Did you look at did they have the records? I see what's attached in here, but as far as the condition of the engine and the number of hours on it.
We actually took my computer up there and hooked it up. It's hard to say how many hours are actually on it. The hour meter could have went bad, or the instrument panel could have went bad. They could have replaced it. But given benefit of the doubt, all the hours, there's a like a data log whenever there's a malfunction. And the transmission, there was a malfunction there at 5,500 hours. And when I read the instrument panel, it was at 6,600 hours with no malfunction.
Was that on E or on C?
That was on C.
Okay.
So it's hard to tell. Average on a 2002 that I looked up was about 15,000 to 20,000 hours. So it's.
Any of these come with any warranties or anything?
Yes, the K does. The K comes with a 90-day overall warranty.
B? as in boy?
E.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's
the
two
one-
Ks, that's why I'm asking. There's
Oh.
two of them that are Ks,
Okay.
so I'm just,
Yeah, it comes with a 90-day warranty, and it also comes with a 4,000 hour undercarriage. What do they call it? Assurance.
Yes, well, it's prorated back, depending on how many hours is on it. They'll come in and measure it, and then they'll give us back or fix, you know, whatever it is.
They just deduct a little bit of,
Yeah.
you know, if it's got some wear on it or something, they'll deduct a little bit of money off of it, and then they'll pay for the rest of it.
So does the undercarriage, is it getting scraped away? Is that what you're saying?
It wears.
Yeah.
I mean, it's metal on metal. I mean, they usually give an average life of 4,000 hours, so that's the warranty on it. So, you know, whenever we talk 50%, 70%, you know, it's the hours left on that undercarriage. So that's how we kind of figured out that C was probably around 1,000, 1,200 hours left before we'll have to replace. And it just depends on where you get the parts. I mean, aftermarket's going to be 23,000, and we do the work. And you know, if we send it to CAT, it can run up to 34,000, 35. It's hard to say, depending on what the prices go up in the next few years.
So at the last commission meeting, you guys, I think Brad showed us two of them that you looked at before they're gone now. And I mean, just so the folks know, the pricing was significantly lower on the two that he had brought in here earlier. Did you see the other two, or at least the one? The one was in Louisiana and the other one was in Kansas City. How does E stack up against?
I don't remember what yours was.
Is C not the one from before?
The one we wanted out of the last two was an 05.
Yeah.
With on
See,
the
I thought
paper it
that
said
That one.
I thought it was one of them.
on the paper it said lower hours. You know, it says there's a little bit lower hour machine, but the undercarriage was still around the 50 to 60% range, I believe, if I remember right, on that machine.
Do any of these besides, I would assume that the 2018 and the 2019 do, but I'm assuming the older models here probably still have any type of warranty attached to them?
No, there's, as far as I know, no.
Yeah, the
ones-
2011,
the ones that's
2011 and
in-
2002.
The ones that's a long ways away, I'm not sure. I know the one we went and looked at today that's in Lee Summit, it doesn't. He's actually, Lee Summit Equipment selling it for another contractor, so it ain't actually Lee Summit Equipment, so it's as is.
So we were looking at purchasing this piece of equipment primarily to finish and do the work on Cooper Street.
Among much other things.
Okay, so quickly kind of run through what other projects is this gonna be a benefit on?
Whatever you guys come up with. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's
So, for instance, today we was at Gun Park looking at camping stuff. You know, it'll be used there. We got to do some leveling and to get camping spots and stuff like that. So, you know, if we go forward with that job, it'll be used there. It'll be used to do, you know, we got that borrow pit. We've got a big dirt hole that we'll use it at to get all of our dirt for all of our jobs. Any street we redo, whether it's a block or 16 blocks, this machine will be used on it. And we've been doing it with small equipment, and we've been using our small equipment for what we shouldn't be using it for
Right.
to get by. But
Right, so originally we were looking at somewhere between $90,000 and $100,000. And the piece of equipment that we're looking at now is almost double that. So I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around the understanding and justification behind doubling what we were looking at spending.
well, and that goes in with you know, how new
Right.
they are. Kind of the way I looked at it was, you know, even though this one is 90,000, it's only 4 years newer than most of the equipment we've got. You know, I think the newest one is 98. Our graders, that 120H motor grader is 98. The John Deere excavator is a 98, and I believe our current loader, which is a Repetire, is a 94. I'm sorry. So, you know,
And you also have your price differences, like your undercarriage on the K is built a lot better than the C. So it's more beefier, it's got more rollers, so, it's a lot beefier there. Your main lift boom's beefier, your bucket's a little bigger. Your 963K is 212 horsepower versus your 963C that's 160 horsepower. The 963K has rippers on it. The 963C don't. Them rippers alone's a $15,000 option. So
Yeah, I think the main question is, and I've talked to Tom and Jerry today, because I reached out, a couple buddies of mine, they're public works directors, and their thing is, why do you need something this big? And so I asked them that, and they said, and basically, I think if we plan on using the street crew to do major projects, then we probably need it. If not, then we probably don't need it. So I don't know what most of the commissioners think going in the future. If we, I think they said like the dam work at the lake, instead of bidding out, could have done it, which you could have done it with the machine you have now. But I think you told me this machine will probably save 25%. You get it done 25% quicker.
yes, I mean the machine we have now, I wouldn't have moved that machine out there. I would have done it with skid loaders.
Yeah.
I basically, we'd have skid loaders running around out
So I
there
think-
all over the place.
For me, I guess whatever the commission going forward is, if we plan on doing major work, we probably need it. Because over in Nevada, they don't have nothing this big, and a few other. But like they said we bid everything out. We don't do it in house. So
I guess one of the things I'm looking at is if we were to go with something like the C or another option in that range, instead of spending all this money on the big one, we use that money to buy another track hoe, which is another piece of equipment that as much digging as we've been doing lately, I could see a newer track hoe being more beneficial than this. And I understand what y'all are saying about the undercarriage and the hours and all of that. But if this one here is really around that 6,000 hour range, then I see with the work that we have planned to do currently, this one being a greater benefit to us from a cost standpoint. I want y'all to
yeah,
justify.
and to me, that's what we're trying to replace is, like I said, 1998 models.
Mhm.
We're only going 4 years newer. Right. I just hate to see us
Yeah.
step backwards, so to speak.
We're also trying to get a piece of equipment that's going to last us 20.
And Matthew, I
20,
think
30 years.
that's where I look at it is 2002 has not, you're buying it. It's coming to you and that's it. No paperwork, no maintenance agreements, nothing. That's what you're getting. You're getting a 21-year-old piece of equipment that's what you're getting. 2016, you're getting, if you've ever bought a car that has a Carfax or whatever, every time it went in the shop, you got that paperwork with you. That's what the 2016 has. It has a lot of good maintenance. It has a lot of good life left. 2002, it's almost a crapshoot. They went up there today. What'd he say? One, it doesn't start in cold weather very well.
Yeah, we actually wait on the
That's scary.
mechanic to show up to start it.
Yeah, we couldn't go up yesterday because it was too cold. So that's a little scary. That's C, yes. So E, I know it's more. It comes with a ripper, but it puts us to where none of us will have to worry about buying another piece of track loader equipment again because it's going to go for 30 to 40 years.
that's the question. I mean, do we worry about buying 5 pieces of machines that'll last 30 years, or do we focus on getting 15 machines that'll last 10 years? I mean,
Good question. Where are we getting the funding? Where is this coming out
I
of? This
think
large amount, where is it coming out of?
Ben said we had it in the budget.
Ben's got it. Yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
Well, and the thing is for some of these jobs, and yeah, I know you can use that a lot for a heck of a lot more than just Cooper Street. There's all kinds of stuff around town it can be used for. You can always go smaller on a job if you've got a bigger piece of equipment, but you can't go bigger if you don't have the right size piece of equipment.
That's
So-
the equipment life there. You move that piece of equipment that ain't big enough for the job, you're gonna wear that piece of equipment out real fast.
Yeah.
So we also keep talking about how big this piece of equipment is. Do we have the capacity to move this thing around from job site to job site? Do we?
Yes.
We have a low boy and a semi and all that.
Yep, it's rated for 80,000 pounds, so we're good there.
Yeah, this machine's, what it was, it's 47,000?
47, I think,
Yeah.
And it does have how long is the warranty for on it? You said on the undercarriage, did you say it was 4,000 hours?
4,000 hour warranty on the undercarriage and a 90-day warranty on the overall machine.
And you said 4,000 hours is the life expectancy of a new carriage?
It can be if it's in a rough life. You run them on rocks all the time, your undercarriage ain't gonna last very long. You run them in decent material, then they could last up to 6 to 7.
Do we have rocks in Bourbon County?
Yeah. That's the nice thing about this machine too. This 963K, it's got all the guards for all the rollers. It's got the guards for the sprockets.
Do we have that in writing? Because I don't. There's nothing in here stating that warranty is available anywhere in this paperwork
yeah. I'm sure if we
No.
agreed to it,
or with that.
Yeah.
it would be in the contract.
That's it. On stuff like the bucket linkages, where it says that those are in poor shape, and where it says that the loader pin and the loader frame are in poor shape as well,
That's what was rebuilt on the machine.
those items have now been rebuilt.
Yes.
Okay.
Are these reports? These are your reports, aren't they? Or these come from the
This is
the condition reports? Are this something you guys did, or is that something they supply?
No, it's something they supply.
Have you looked at this one yet in person?
Yes.
Yes.
They went and looked at it.
So you've actually been up and looked at this E?
I've looked at it. I've ran at the what one?
E?
Yes.
The one you're
Yeah.
asking. So what about A here? It's a 963D. What's the difference between the D and the K, and why would we not consider it?
Your D, there ain't a lot of difference between your D and your C, other than horsepower. The cooling system's all the same. Your hydrostat's the same. It's just they went from like 150 horsepower to 168 on horsepower.
But I think what he's saying is from the
From the D to the.
from the D to the K.
Oh, okay. You're talking about
Yeah.
So by comparing A and E together.
Because this has a ripper also,
Muscle
it states it
horsepower.
on there.
the A and what?
D and
Basically saying horsepower on the D's 150, and then 212 on the K. Is what he said. Roughly.
basically.
Yeah.
They have the same undercarriage, because you said the K had a heavier undercarriage, right?
K has a heavier undercarriage.
Is it the same as the D, but not the same as the C?
Similar to the D. Yeah,
Or is the D similar to the
This
K?
is a
versus-
963DR.
D's one was in.
And the one A is located in
Illinois.
Mokina, Illinois, and I would imagine, what would it cost to? You haven't looked at it for one, which would be a concern to me, and then what would it cost?
They gave
To
us
have
a
it shipped
quote,
down here.
to move the one from Topeka is right at $2,000.
Mm.
The guy here in Kansas City, he was supposed to get back with us on the freight charge. That he thought $500, but we're thinking more like 1,000 probably. The guy will do that probably hourly instead of like miles. Normally he charges $6 a mile.
We've got a truck to move it. Is the one in Kansas City, could we pick that one up ourselves?
We could.
Good.
Our truck usually don't run up and down the highway, so we don't ever balance the tires or nothing on
So
it.
what you're saying is next thing you're gonna be in here for is wanting a new truck.
No, that was great.
Yes.
No, that truck will do it just fine. If the tires were balanced, I'd drive it to Kansas City. But I don't know where we have to go anymore to balance the semi tire.
Pittsburgh, the only place.
But the 2016, the E, it's delivered to our front door for the 180,000. He said he'd eat the shipping charges.
I mean, I'm sure you probably need one, but it says here without ripper or with ripper.
Yeah, if they take the ripper off of it, they'll take $10,000 off the machine. But I'd rather have the ripper.
Yeah, they said they'd gladly take it off.
Mhm.
They'll resell it.
Any more questions?
How soon, I mean, if the piece of equipment is purchased, soon will we do budget work? Is this like next week y'all have it out there and start moving stuff?
Yes, I've got the park job we're gonna use it on. I've also got all the work we gotta do at the brush dump yearly. I've got all that stuff to do that we need to get done too.
Oh, the old case was still sitting down there from the brush pile.
It is.
We got several cylinders on the oh, you mean the old backhoe? Or the,
No, the orange one.
The orange one's sitting down there.
Yeah.
We've been babying that thing. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Still runs, still fishing brush.
Well, I mean, we use it to borrow pit.
Tell me that thing's annoying.
Put
Yes.
spoils in it. Put spoils in with it.
it's
Just
got
unplug it.
several cylinders bad. We can't,
It's a battery pack.
they discontinued that particular model in, probably in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to get parts for it. I mean,
Okay.
Well, Brad, we've heard, thanks guys for answering our questions. What is, interim city manager, what's your recommendation?
I trust these guys. So, of course, when they came to me, we spent about 2 hours together yesterday afternoon talking about all this, and I pretty much asked the same questions you guys did. And I believe in going something that's going to last for a long time. I want proof, and with a warranty and with all the documentation that Foley gives you, that's where I'd go. And we're going to put it to work. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
I'm going to put. We've already talked about Gun Park. We got a lot of earth to push down there. We've got Cooper. You know how I feel. I'm not a big outsourcing fan. If we can do things in house, I'd say we save money and do things in house. Of course, something like Horton Street's going outsource. That's fine, but we've got a lot of projects that we can do in house with this. And time is money, and this will help us do that too.
Yeah, I want to say you can do the parks without this. We've done Cooper without this so far.
Mhm.
I mean, but what you're saying is it'll speed it up. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yes.
Is- I
And
mean,
it'll help on man hours.
Yeah,
When
I
we
just
when
want-
we was doing Cooper, we was filling that sub base out of that road. We had 2 skid loaders running and a backhoe running and trucks.
Well-
And it takes a man to man every one of those pieces of equipment.
I just wanted to be clear that this can be done without this machine because other towns do it, but
Do we have a trailer
time and stuff.
for supplies and stuff to actually, when you're loading and unloading concrete and stuff like that with ripping, and do we have a trailer that can hold all the stuff that you'll be moving and cleaning up?
Dump
Yes.
truck.
just dump trucks.
Yeah, we
Big,
haul.
big enough to do what?
to
This?
haul that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got local, we haul that around.
No. All the dirt.
All the
and-
materials?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
materials
use
that
dump
we-
truck. Yep.
How old and new is that thing?
The dump trucks?
Range from 2000 or actually 95 all the way up to 2009.
Yeah, we do have, we've got 4 twin screw dump trucks. We've got 2, well, we got 1, 2, we've got 5 single axle dump trucks. Those are
Yeah.
older.
Some of them are pretty little though.
Yeah.
That's why I told him earlier. I said, Joe, Tom's the reason why we have old stuff is because he's such a damn good mechanic, honestly. Because without Tom, I mean, keeps a lot of this stuff going. Of course, I'm probably
Agree.
biased because
It is getting harder,
yeah.
sourcing parts, but that's due to the
Maybe
times
then he
right
wants
now.
the ones that would be more.
I know.
How wide is the bucket?
The bucket, what was it? The bucket was bigger on the K than it was on the C. So I don't remember now. We had all that. The 963K holds 2 1/4 yards. The 963C was just under 2 yards. I think it was
So
like
if you were gonna
1.8.
prioritize all your equipment right now, as far as what you needed the most, this would be at the top of your list.
Yes. This piece of equipment is replacing the oldest piece we have.
This one come from the state or the county, the one we got now? Where'd it come from?
State.
State.
Mhm.
How long ago did we get that one? Before you?
No, I was there whenever we got it.
Around,
Probably 17 or 18 years ago, probably.
around 20 years.
What year's it?
I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure it's like a 91, 92. The hour meter quit at 4,400 hours, so I really can't tell you what the hours are.
Kind of off
No.
subject, but while we're talking about this, do you guys fill out report cards for hours used on machine? Like, if you're using this machine for 3 hours a day, I mean, do we track hours on machines?
We do through fuel.
Yeah.
We have to put the hours in our fuel every time we get fuel for something.
But you
No,
don't
even
track
our-
you don't track employee hours on what machine's being used or nothing like that.
We don't have like a maintenance sign-off card for the operator before he starts it for the day, checks the oil, checks all the good stuff for the day, and then signs it off in the
They're
hour.
supposed to do that, yes.
I know about
They do.
2 years ago we've talked about this, not timesheets, but I know Jeremy was going to. I mean, just sheets showing. You know, I've had 2 workers out here on the 963 for 3 hours, and then the skid steer. I mean, just so at the end of the year we can track, say, how much did you actually use this last year? You know, I mean,
You know, I mean, we can put
I'm
something like
shocked
that
that
together.
we
It's
don't
just,
do anything on time doing that. So
you know, you get in, it might be troublesome for our, like our skid loader stuff, because you're in and out of the skid loader all day, you know.
and it ain't gotta be exact, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you
we
know,
could try to put something together.
5 minutes into the day, I was on the
Yeah.
skid loader for 4 hours. Or
I
something.
think even some type of card at the beginning of the day, whoever's taking the piece of equipment, I check these things and the hour meter says this, and then the next guy that gets it in the next day do the same thing. That's just preventative maintenance.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Anybody want to make a motion? You got the honors?
So the one you guys have labeled E is your first choice. What would be your second choice out of these 5 that have been presented to us?
It would be, our first choice would be E, and then our second choice would be C.
And what's the justification for that? Because I kind of would have thought it would have been A based on what you told us. Is that just
Yeah.
because C is closer here? We've looked at it.
I would have to drive some miles to go look at these other pieces of equipment. I know what we're getting with these 2 machines. And you can look.
And
at
one
the
thing I asked them,
pictures.
So-
you know, we can drop down to a 953 and probably save 30,000, 40,000. But you were telling me, like, what was the big difference between a 953 and 63?
It's your
Horse.
horsepower. The machine, the 953 is smaller than the 963. Your 953 is like 112 horsepower. Our skid loaders are 75. So you know and all the stuff we're wanting to do with this machine, we want it to be our Swiss Army knife. We need it big enough to clear trees. We want it big enough to dig dirt. You know, where you're 63, it's more of a you can dig dirt with and
Are
stuff.
you clearing
takes
trees
longer.
with this, not the excavator?
The excavator?
Are you clearing
we
trees?
can
Are you
do
going to clear trees with this?
You can clear trees with this.
It'd probably be better. Last time they tried to pull a tree out of the river, they kind of ruined our excavator for about 2 months until I found a new arm for it.
Yeah, I've cleared a lot of trees in one of these.
I think a lot of this A and the B, that was more for a reference to compare prices.
But your A's older. It's the 2011.
You know,
The C is 2002.
well, we were actually able to go look at that one and E.
Mhm.
Sorry, go up to that one,
D.
The D.
We didn't bother with the D because it was $300,000.
Yeah.
Yes, which one you wanted?
Well, yeah. We was thinking bang for buck here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we compared D to E, I guess we'd be a clear winner with E, huh?
Yes.
What I mean, between E and C, I mean, I guess it's just gonna be how much we use it and which way the commission goes with doing in-house and bidding out. So I don't know.
Well, is the big thing about the 2002 C the life of the undercarriage? But you said that's what, a $35,000 replacement if you had to replace it in
Yes, on
a
the
couple of
C,
years?
We're
the
still under.
undercarriage is 30%.
I mean,
the
even at
cylinders-
10,000, we're still under.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you add 30,000 to that 92,
We're still under the 180.
I'll tell
$180,000
you,
is a
on
lot
the
of
C,
money.
It needs the undercarriage. The undercarriage is at 30%. The hydrostat pump in it is leaking. It's not a horrible leak, but it's leaking. So that's a big ticket. We'll have to do something there. We don't know what it is, but you can see in the belly pans that it's leaking. There's an engine oil leak that needs fixed. All the cylinders on the front of this machine are leaking. They'll need rebuilt. I don't know what they cost.
On C.
$400 piece, whatever, you know.
You had a lot of, when you started it up, was there a lot of blowback?
No, there was no
Actually,
blowback.
It wasn't?
No.
There was not.
This machine, the 963C, when we get it to town, it would immediately need to go into the shop for sprockets and track rails. We'd have to order the parts and get sprockets and track rails on it.
So you gave a life expectancy on E. What's your life expectancy on C?
We may get, if we run it like it is, well, it's kind of a crapshoot, but you know, as far as the undercarriage, we can get 1,000 hours out of it. The bushings are already flat on one spot, so we put new sprockets on it. It's gonna wear them out prematurely unless we do something with the whole link system, rails and everything, so.
The K, when it gets here, we could have them bring it to the job site. It's ready to go.
And and then I still have to figure out where the oil leaks are coming from, if it is the transmission or if it is one of the hydrostat motors or whatever.
And one more time, tell me the difference between C and K again. Sorry.
C and K,
Yeah.
undercarriage and horsepower.
Okay.
And C doesn't have a river.
And C does not have a ripper, yes.
And K has the new designed cooling system in for the hydrostat and for the engine. The C's had a hydrostat overheating problem, but it's fixable. But the K's, you don't have that problem.
I think there was one code we pulled out of the transmission, but it could have been they could have blew a hydraulic line or something. There was a low pressure to the reverse circuit. So, I mean.
So are we still kind of wrapping this up in the whole Cooper Street synopsis, saying, hey, we're still going to roll this $180,000 into our cost savings there from paying a contractor to do it?
Well, of course, you're going to save that much money, but you're going to use this at many other opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, we can still
Yeah.
look at it from the perspective of Cooper Street. We use this just on Cooper Street, even though it's twice what we were looking at before.
You're still going to save money, yes.
We're still saving money on that project alone.
Yes.
Let alone just the benefit we get from everywhere else.
Just won't be as much, but yes, you'll still be saving money.
Let's say for instance the lake dam. If we'd had this machine for it, I don't know what they charge,
33,000.
We could have done it for $3,000 and saved $30,000. The sewer deal at 3rd Street. This is a machine that does those kind of jobs. I don't know what was charged there, but that wouldn't have been a charge to us if we had something like this. We could do it ourselves.
This thing to clean out the guns.
Actually, yes. If you want to drain them, we can do it. So,
Just pop a hole in the side of one of them. And
yeah,
let it drain.
yeah.
So, and we have somebody that will be operating this full time as like their position. That's what they're going to be doing. We're going to keep this moving
We
all the
will.
time, or-
I have myself and 2 of my main operators, and then the other guys will be trained on it. I don't want to send a guy to go get a load of dirt and him not know how to run a piece of equipment, load a truck. So they will all be trained in running it to one extent or another.
We have, Jerry, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years you have experience. Plus we have 2 other guys. One guy has, and I hate to say his age, but he was working with me back in 89, 90 when I worked here. So he's operated machinery since then. We've got our other lead that has 15 years of experience. Plus, I've instructed Jerry that we do need to make everybody operators. You don't have just one job. You've got many jobs. That's just the way. If one guy is sick, somebody's got to take care of it. And he's done a phenomenal job since I've been here, getting that done. That's why our crew is so strong.
Well, if you guys tell me it'll be used, hopefully you don't come back in 6 months and you've used it once, so.
Well, great thing about it is they hold their value. That's clear. You know, 2002 is still worth 90,000. That's still going to be worth, or I guess which one is it? He's still probably going to be worth over, 150, 160,000. So
And I know the one that's 90,000, you said you talked down a little bit. Have you already talked these guys down some?
I tried to with the ones at Folly, but they offered up the
Free
Delivery.
delivery.
on that part.
Yeah, and we talked to on the O2, the
Delivery is going to cost us extra.
it's gonna cost us extra, and he came down from 92 to 90. That's all we get him.
All right, I'll make the motion to allow the purchase of the 2016 Caterpillar, which is E, with the ripper up to $180,000.
I'd second that motion, but would like to add, if you could, please at least let us see a copy of the warranty stuff.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, make sure, yeah.
If it's
Condition-
on
yeah,
there,
I'll-
condition
so,
on
yeah,
the
condition
warranty.
on the warranty that you stated.
Sure.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
No.
Edwin Woolhoff,
Yes.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
and Katie Harrington.
I'm gonna have to vote no on this.
Thank you, guys.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for doing the
Thank
looking
you.
all that and doing all the labor.
Yep, no problem.
Next is the approval of the public dance licenses.
I'll make the motion to approve the public dance licenses for the 6 listed on the agenda.
A through F.
Yeah, A through F.
Second.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Edwin Woolhoff,
Yes.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Katie Harrington.
Yes.
Quick question, are these dance licenses, have they applied for these, or we just knew that these places need?
Looks
They're-
like a $25 a year fee, right?
Right,
I think the renewals.
the
Renewals.
renewals, yeah.
I was just wondering, did anyone reach out to like Pizza Republic or any of the other places where
Oh,
this
any new-
activity might be taking place to see if they want to apply for one?
No. No, these are the existing ones that are in the renewal cycle.
Gotcha.
Next is the approval of renewal of drinking
What, did we vote on
establishments permit.
For the dance, yes.
We had a question, but I didn't know if you voted.
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
So is this in conjunction with the last
Was this one that
meeting?
just,
Was this one?
This
that
was
we
one that
didn't-
was left off, I think.
so I'll make a motion to approve.
This was a late, these are all late
Okay.
comers, yeah.
I'll
Okay.
make the motion to approve the renewal drinking establishment for Hometown Pub.
Edwin Woolhoff,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Katie Harrington.
Yes. So this last one is the approval of the CMB license renewal.
Yeah. Cereal malt beverage for Max's Throw House. I would make a motion to approve the request for the cereal malt beverage license renewal for Max's Throw House.
Second.
Because there's nothing better than booze and throwing sharp objects.
You gotta wear.
Hey, I've been in there a couple
You gotta
times.
wear
It's a blast.
closed-toed shoes though.
It's a good time.
I took
Josh
some friends
Jones?
down there with
Yes.
sandals.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Edwin Woolhoff,
Yes.
Katie Harrington.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And Tim Van Hookey,
Yes. Happy New Year.
Matthew Wells,
Yes, I second the Happy New Year.
Edwin Woolhoff,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes.